On Christmas Eve, the wind cut through the streets like a blade, and every step Emily Carter took felt heavier than the last, not because of the cold, but because of the envelope in her coat pocket. Inside were 3 crumpled bills and a handful of coins. $15. That was all she had left after working extra shifts and paying rent. She stopped outside a small family diner glowing with warm yellow light, her breath fogging the window. Behind her stood her mother, Mary Carter, frail but smiling, holding Emily's arm as if that simple touch was enough to keep the world steady. Emily swallowed hard and whispered, "Merry Christmas, Mom," praying she could make this one night feel like something more than survival. Emily hadn't planned on the diner. The original idea was sandwiches at home, maybe instant soup, but Mary had mentioned, just once, that she missed eating out, missed the sound of people talking and plates clinking, missed feeling normal. Emily remembered how her father, David, used to take them out every Christmas Eve before he passed away. That memory settled deep in her chest, heavy and warm at the same time. She counted the money again, did the math again, and told herself they could share one meal. One meal was enough if it came with dignity. Inside, the diner smelled of coffee, fried onions, and baked bread. Christmas decorations hung slightly crooked from the walls, clearly put up by someone who cared but didn't have much time. Emily guided Mary to a small booth near the window. Mary's hands trembled as she rubbed them together, and Emily noticed the familiar guilt creeping in, the guilt of not being able to give her mother more, of choosing between medicine and groceries, of pretending everything was fine when it wasn't. A waitress named Sarah came over with menus and a gentle smile. "Take your time," she said kindly, as if she could sense the careful calculations happening behind Emily's eyes. Emily nodded, her fingers tightening around the menu. "Emily," he said quietly, holding the paper between his fingers. "You left this." Her face drained of color. For a moment, David thought she might run. Instead, she swallowed and nodded. "I'm sorry," she said. "I didn't know how else to tell you." "Tell me what?" David asked. She glanced around, then leaned closer. "That steak," she whispered. "It's from yesterday." David blinked. "Yesterday?" "We had a power outage last night," she said. "The fridge went down for hours. The owner told us to serve everything anyway. Said we couldn't afford the loss." Her voice cracked. "I've seen people get sick. I couldn't let it happen again." David looked back at the plate on the table, the steam still rising. He felt a cold wave roll through him, not fear for himself, but something deeper. Betrayal. Not just by the diner, but by a system that forced a young woman to choose between her job and someone else's safety. "Why tell me?" he asked. Emily hesitated. "Because I saw you counting your money before you ordered. Because you look like someone who can't afford a hospital bill. And because I know what it's like." David's throat tightened. "What do you mean?" "My dad," she said softly. "He raised me alone after my mom died. Worked himself sick just to keep us fed. People took advantage of him because he was desperate." Her eyes met David's. "I couldn't be part of that." For a long moment, neither of them spoke. The diner noise rushed back in. Plates clinking, a baby crying, the bell over the door ringing. David pushed the plate away. "Thank you," he said finally. "You did the right thing." She nodded, but fear still lingered on her face. "If my boss finds out." "He won't," David said. "Not like this." David returned to his booth, but he didn't sit. He watched. The owner, a heavy-set man named Frank, laughed with a regular, completely unconcerned. David felt anger rise, but he forced it down. This wasn't about revenge. It was about responsibility. He paid for the meal anyway, leaving